Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like crypto and money, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Coming in at 207K today, subscribers. Thank you guys for all that. We are on track for 1 million by the end of the year. The year just started, but we are on track, so that is good news. So guys, today, Ethereum. Oh my gosh, are you serious? What the heck is going on with Ethereum? We're gonna be talking about today. This is what we've waited for. Then we're gonna talk about Bitcoin a little bit, and we're gonna talk about the big warning. The warning that you guys have to hear about what is happening right now. All right, so let's start with Ethereum. If you've been listening to me, you know that I'm all in on Ethereum. I switched over to Bitcoin, and then I moved back to Ethereum over the last 6 weeks. Why? Because I knew that at some point the numbers are just too much in the favor of Ethereum. If we look at where Bitcoin's coming in right now at $34,000, it is almost 75% higher than its previous all-time high. Think about that, okay? However, Ethereum is not even 75% of its previous all-time high. So Bitcoin 75% higher, Ethereum not even 75% of its previous all-time high, which was about $1,300 to $1,400. So what does that mean? The potential for Ethereum is much more explosive. Once people start getting wind of the fact that Ethereum is the next target of institutional investors, and we believe that we know that to be true. And I wanted to talk about that for just a second, because I did this big video on institutional FOMO regarding Bitcoin and regarding Ethereum. And here were some of the comments I got. And these comments they're very telling. We had someone on TikTok make a comment and say, "What? This guy doesn't know anything about cryptocurrency." Yeah, I got a giant company with 20 employees. All I do is cryptocurrency and watch football. Those are like the only two things I do in life, okay? And sometimes I build Legos for my kids, okay? That's about it. Yeah, we know what we're talking about on this channel. This year bears that out. I see comments saying things like this that really blow me away. "Oh, what do you think? You think they're gonna run out of Bitcoin? Everybody's got a selling price." Yeah, everybody's got a selling price, obviously. But we're talking about the supply, okay? Here's a good, for instance. You're new to crypto, you're new to Bitcoin, go try to buy 1,000 Bitcoin on Coinbase. How's that gonna work out for you? You're not gonna be able to do it. Not gonna be possible. Why? You're not even going to be able to load that much fiat on Coinbase to be able to buy that much. Yes, institutional investors are not going to Coinbase to make these giant purchases. We all know that. But the amount of places, like this is what you guys have to wrap your head around, okay? This is so important. The amount of places that are able to have 1,000 BTC for sale at one time is growing shorter and shorter. The overall amount of people and entities that own that much is getting shorter and shorter. Less people than ever in history own one full Bitcoin, even though the supply has gotten so much higher. Why? Because one individual Bitcoin has gotten to be so high. And so once that starts registering with people, once that starts clicking in, Ethereum is the next target. And we are seeing a lot of this money flowing into Ethereum. We're seeing a lot of money from XRP flowing into Ethereum. By the way, Litecoin today probably will pass XRP as the number 3 overall non-stable coin cryptocurrency, officially taking over the number 4 spot on CoinMarketCap. It is very close. Like, I think it's only $50 million away at the time of this recording. It'll probably be closer. Probably going to happen today. XRP will probably be falling out of the top 10, and that's going to create some opportunities. Now, that's not to say that XRP will not be returning to the top 10. After all this thing, after they settle, but right now it is going to have a big drop. So Ethereum really, it's almost at $900 right now. If you would have listened to me a couple weeks ago when I told you anything under $600 was a heck of a buying opportunity, you would be up 50% right now. So Ethereum right now, I believe, is going to be hitting its all-time high. I'm not prepared to give an exact date on that. We're going to be looking at that this week on the channel, so make sure to stay tuned for that. I'm going to be giving you guys exactly when I feel like Ethereum is going to hit that all-time high. However, I would say this. We don't have nearly the same amount of confidence in that kind of number as we do in Bitcoin, because we have a lot of history of Bitcoin cycles, not necessarily with Ethereum. So when it comes to Bitcoin, guys, like I said, I laid out the institutional track for you guys. There's a lot of people, it's funny because people laugh when people attack me in a bull market, in a bear market. People are like, oh, he's so moon boyish. There's a lot of people out there, technical analysis guys, that to me, I'm trying to think of the right word to say. I don't know how to say it. When it comes to fundamentals, they're challenged. I guess that's probably the best way. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to the fundamental things about Bitcoin that make it great, the fundamental things about the cryptocurrency market, the things happening off the charts, a lot of these technical analysis guys cannot see this. Let me give you two of my favorite technical analysis guys. Of course, you guys know I love Crypto Wendio, so that goes without saying. But my two favorite to watch right now, Crypto Jeb. I love Crypto Jeb. He does such a great job of really weaving in the fundamental. Why can't I say that right? Because it feels so fun. The fundamentals, the fundamentals about the news cycle of Bitcoin combined with the charts. Another guy who's really been rising, and I think this guy's hilarious. I'm going to get him on the channel. I haven't talked to him yet. Commented on one of his videos the other day. Tyler S. That guy, Chop Down Charlie, Meltdown Mark. Okay, he's got a bunch of crazy names for himself. Maybe I just made those ones up, but they're pretty accurate. I love that guy. He is really good. He's really funny, and he has been pretty dead on during this cycle. So check those two guys out. But there's other guys out there that are just so narrowly focused on the charts. They can't look outside and see that something different is happening right now. What is it? Pandemic, money printing, okay? If the value of the dollar drops another 20% in 2021, like a lot of people expect due to more money printing, then that means that like we could lose up to 30% on the dollar index in a 2-year period. So that means that like if it drops 30% and Bitcoin rises 30%, that's really like Bitcoin rising almost 100%. Okay, you guys understand the math on how that works? If the dollars are worth less and Bitcoin is moving up, then the amount of purchasing power you have with the dollar or with the Bitcoin is exponentially higher than what you have with the equivalent US dollar value. And so it's not just that it's, we're looking to get similar performance to the last bull markets, which of course, if we do that, Bitcoin would hover around $300,000 to $400,000, but which we're so far away from, but yet the stuff going on outside of the charts, it's like they know it exists, but they just can't grasp it and understand how it all works together. You can't stay so narrow-minded and narrowly laser focused on charts, because there are things off of the charts that affect the prices. Now, ultimately, okay, even that being said, there are going to be some similar patterns that play out on charts based on the fundamentals, but what we have going on right now is a totally different animal. All that being said, one of these guys is Crypto Kirby. So I was watching Crypto Kirby's video this morning. I felt personally attacked by him. Kind of kidding. I mean, I know, a lot of us are moon boys, and we love to talk about Bitcoin going to the moon. Which, by the way, yesterday on Fox News, someone said Bitcoin to the moon, which I thought was hilarious. I almost died. Somebody sent me a clip of it. I wasn't watching it. But the point here is Crypto Kirby, he's another TA guy. He's one of these guys that's laser focused on the charts. And I just feel like he can't really grasp the outside, situation of that. However, I feel like I've been kind of saying some of the same things that he's saying, because if you really listen to what he was talking about yesterday on his video, he was saying that basically it would be normal for Bitcoin right now to have a 40% retracement. And I agree with that. I think it would be normal to have that big of a retracement. That's what we've seen in previous bull markets. We've seen retracements that large. He was drawing a Fibonacci sequence down to 60%. Or highlighting a Fibonacci sequence down to 60%. Guys, I don't see a 60% drop for Bitcoin. I don't think it will drop below $20,000 again. I don't think it will. Maybe in the bear market, but certainly not right now. I don't think in the bear market either, really. I think probably maybe sub 100K, depending on how high it gets. If it gets to 400, 500K. If it gets only to 100K, then yeah, I think under 20,000 would be in play. But We believe that the price is going much higher based on history, based on the Bitcoin cycles, based on the fundamentals. But guys, here's the truth. In his video, he says, we're going to get a big retracement and then we're going to head back up. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's hard to fathom right now that there's any way that the Bitcoin price is going to keep going up this dramatically, this quickly. Now, yesterday on another video I was watching, you guys know we're in super Bitcoin bull territory when I'm watching other people's videos. Like, you know that, okay? Even you guys know how many videos I make. I ain't got time for it. I'm still watching them, okay? Da Vinci, J15, another guy who, friends with, he had a video where he said that he believes that the Bitcoin price is in what he calls hyper Bitcoinization, okay? And this hyper Bitcoinization means similar something to what we saw in 2013, where the price is just going to continue to run, and is just really the begin. In the last cycle, we didn't have a huge move before the actual full display of the Bitcoin parabolic bull run, okay? The parabolic bull movement we got at the end of 2017. In 2013, that was kind of near the beginning of the cycle. And then it dropped and then it went back up. And he thinks that's where we could be. I just have to say I got to stick with all my predictions on where I say Bitcoin is going. And if you watch videos I've made recently, I talk about what kind of numbers Bitcoin would need to be at to get to that 500,000 or higher level. And as of right now, we are tracking along with that. But the real question is going to be, when we consolidate, how low is the price going to drop? And on top of that, when that happens, how fast is it going to recover? Okay, that's going to be pivotal. I believe that if we can hold this $30,000 level, just 30K, that will be monumental for where I believe the Bitcoin price is going. So that's definitely a number to watch, a number to keep in mind, going forward. Watch that $30,000 level. We started dipping back below. Yesterday, we did not dip below 30,000, but we got pretty low. I caught along, by the way, at the very bottom of that wick yesterday. Made about $1,500 in about 5 minutes, which is pretty cool. But, that's neither here nor there. That's something that he's talking about, hyper Bitcoinization. It's something to watch. But here's my warning. Be careful what your entry points are. Because, guys, right now it does feel very euphoric. It feels very like it can't possibly go down. The greed index is probably off the charts. I haven't checked it recently. But just be careful on your entry points. And that's why I'm going to say again what I said yesterday. The best thing for people to do, put money in, have money on the sidelines. Don't put all your money in at these high levels. If you're going to put all your money in, wait. I'm not a financial advisor, yada, yada, yada. It's not even important for me to say, but I'm telling you anyways. If the price drops dramatically, like down 28, 27,000, that would kind of be like signals go all in. If it goes down to 24,000, especially 24,000 to me is a really, really, really important level. I don't think we'll pierce that level. I think 24,000, even if we have a big retracement, is probably about what we're going to see. That'll be the lowest, I think, that we'll see from here. 28,000 is another really important level, I think. But the $30,000 level is very, very, very important psychologically. A lot of people are coming in. We got stimulus checks coming tomorrow, which we'll be talking about tomorrow on our live stream. We're going to start live streaming Monday through Friday, by the way, starting tomorrow. So you guys definitely be prepared for that. We got big things planned. We got a whole studio we're getting built. It's not quite done yet, but we're going to go ahead and move forward with the live streaming. But I believe the price, the $30,000 level is one to watch. I know if it goes below 30,000, I'm going to be looking at some longs and things like that. But the stimulus money, I think, could push it further. So I really believe it, because my bank told me, like, they just sent a general email, like, anyone who's getting stimulus money, it's coming tomorrow. It's coming on the 4th of January. So that's going to be really big. And we're going to have to see how much of that money flows back into Bitcoin and back into Ethereum. I'm telling you guys, a lot of people are going to be putting that money in Ethereum, not Bitcoin. A lot, and not as large of a percentage have to do that to make Ethereum move a lot as compared to Bitcoin. So that's definitely something to watch. Looks like we could be looking at $1,000 Ethereum next week. We could start seeing a correction at that point. But at this point, guys, we're in uncharted territory, and it's anybody's guess. So just remember this. Be careful of your entry points. If you invest and it starts dropping, we do not believe that this is a bear market sign. We believe that would be a consolidation, so don't be worried. And number 3, It's fine to invest now, but make sure you have money on the sidelines in case it drops and you can buy more. So guys, thanks so much. Once again, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. We're going to blow past everybody. We love you guys. That's all I got. Be blessed. That's TJ calling. BitBoy out.